Oh, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Nice. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you all as well.
So we were given sorry we're a little bit behind here. We were trying to give the others a little bit of time to join, but they might be running a little late. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We want to be respectful of your time.
That's fine.
All right. So we are, just so you know, I think we mentioned this on the email, but we are going to record, but it's just basically we want to check in with you all to see how your first semester was. You one under your belt, first one under your belt after graduating from college. So we're super excited to kind of just chat with you and see how things went. Just very informal conversation. So no pressure here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to actually um, just hit a couple buttons here so we can broadcast. And thanks, Ashley, for hitting the record. And then we can go ahead and get started. Okay. All right. So, um, first things first, just to refresh our memory, if you would just let us know. I know you went to a very special school, but if you would just remind us what school you went to as well as what your major is.
So I currently attend the number one HBCU. I go to Spelman College. I'm an international studies major and a photography minor.
Excellent. All right. So, how was the first semester? What would you say?
I would say it was great. I had a really good time. I started in a single dorm, so I have no roommate. I didn't have the typical, yeah, everybody's surprised. I didn't have the typical first semester in college where like you get a random roommate, you don't know how it's gonna go. No, I was by myself. So I did love that. I think that helped my transition definitely because I'm specific and picky about how I like things. But I made a lot of friends, especially in my hallway because there's some other girls that have singles. So, we all kind of made
Nice.
our little friend group. My classes weren't too bad. Interacting with other students in the AUC was nice too. Most things are walkable, so I was always out and about doing things until it got cold. But yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Nice. That's exciting. I don't know how you got that arrangement, a single
Yeah.
your first semester. That is sweet.
Yeah, it was by accident actually, but things worked in my favor, so I can't
Hey,
complain.
God is good, right? All right. So academically, how would you say you adjusted from high school? Do you feel like high school prepared you for college and your first semester? I assume you did well academically, I'm sure, but
Yeah. I would say my high school definitely prepared me. I was prepped for pretty much everything. There wasn't really a moment where I was struggling necessarily to like do the work or to understand what was happening. Any of the issues that I had were mostly based with like the professor themselves instead
okay,
of like the content of the course.
got you. Did you have any
Yeah.
problems, some professors?
If you want me to get into it, I can get into it. We
Go
might
for
be here for a minute though.
it. But share
I
as much
took
as you want.
I took a philosophy course, practical reasoning is what it was called. And it was basically just understanding the quality of arguments, the way different facts and arguments work, and the practical reasoning of what you're doing. And the specific professor wasn't very attentive towards us.
Mm,
Sometimes she would be late for class, sometimes she would bring her children, she wouldn't respond to emails, she was slow with grading. It was a lot of things
yeah.
that were like piling up, making it difficult to do well in the course.
Okay.
In the end, I passed, but I'm still not at a grade that I believe is reflective of the work that I did. So I'm reprimanding that right now. But yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's pretty good to only have one. I guess,
Yeah. The rest of the
everything's
teachers
relative.
were, they had their own quirks and stuff, but nothing that was too terrible.
Okay. That's good. That's good to hear. Well, I won't hog all the time. Anyone else, feel free to jump in.
Well, not to prolong what you were saying on that one particular course. You said we, so it seems like you were not the only student that felt that the instructor wasn't giving you all that should have been given. So and I'm sure it's been a while, but you are having opportunities. You not only, I guess, challenge the grade, but to evaluate that particular professor. Would you have that chance to do that?
Yeah, so at the end of every semester, we do course evaluations, and you evaluate each course by, all the, I think it's about 20 to 30 questions for each course, and rank and put any information that you want to put in. And yeah, the class was pretty small. It was probably maybe 12 or 13 of us in the course. So yeah, we had a group chat just to, it wasn't initially to, have any complaints about the class. It was just so you could help each other, people want to study together, that sort of thing. But as time went on, yeah.
If you realize that you weren't the only one feeling the way you were feeling about, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah,
yeah,
no, it was definitely a group thing. It wasn't just me as an individual.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So who would you say are two people? Well, first, what was your, if you don't mind us asking, what was your GPA for your first semester?
Okay, if I include the philosophy class, it was a 3.3. But if I don't include the philosophy class, it was a 3.7.
Nice.
Excellent.
Very good.
Either
Thank
way,
you.
very good.
Yep. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So who would you say are the two people that have probably been maybe the most influential to you on your academic journey, both pre-college as well as you're now away at school?
Okay, the first I would say is probably one of my friends that I made. She has a single dorm in the hallway,
Mm-hmm.
and we're both from the same city. We live like 5 minutes
Oh,
apart from each other.
wow.
Her name is Lindsay. Yeah, she's one of my favorite, like, because we both have the only singles in the hallway. So whenever we need something, I go to her, she comes to me, and it's just like two peas in the pod. So yeah,
Nice.
she's definitely been very influential. And then a second, who would I say? Who would I say? I don't know if I can say just one person. I
Okay.
would
So
say
here's
my
what you
my family as a whole on both sides, my mom and my dad,
Okay.
because it's been a mix of those that are in the AUC that like either went to Spelman or Clark or Morehouse,
Mm,
and those who have just been to college recently. They're all kind of in and out and helping me. And I can't just say one specific person, but a lot of cousins, a lot of aunts, a lot of parents, a lot of grandparents. Everybody's all up in the mix, and they take turns helping me out.
nice. Now, did anybody come down and see you while you were there during the first semester or?
Um, no, hold on. No, they did not come see me.
Wait, I don't want to start stuff. I'm sorry.
No, let me, Ma. No, I'm just playing. I went home for Thanksgiving, so I saw everybody then.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Did you go home for a semester or?
Yeah, for fall break, I went to my sister. She goes to Xavier in Louisiana. So I went to Xavier and I went to Baton Rouge because I have some friends at LSU. But yeah, I saw family during the first semester.
Nice. That's good. And how sweet is that to end up with somebody also from your area, like in the same.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I never met her before, never seen her in same hallway.
That's awesome. Okay, so did you get homesick or miss your family?
I'm not really a homesick person.
Okay.
There were moments, and now my mom's in the back chat. She said that's why they didn't visit me. But no, ever since I was a kid, I've always traveled a lot. So like getting homesick kind of didn't really last on me. I've always been one to go out and kick it and hang. So I might miss like food or like some of my friends sometimes. But FaceTime's the thing. I just call them up.
Right. That makes sense. So did you get involved in any clubs or join any like organizations so far?
Yeah, a couple. Spelman is very organization volunteer based.
Okay.
So I did a lot of volunteering at different places. I've done some what is it? I've done some volunteering at elementary schools. I've done some food give outs for like Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Um, I'm in this group called the Future Business Leaders of Spelman. I
Okay.
also did a marketing media group, so I helped to market our Spell House homecoming this year, or
Ooh.
the past year, sorry. I'm in the the Granddaughters Club, which is for basically anyone that has parents or aunts that went to Spelman. What else did I do? I'm in Chinese Club and I'm also in Baltimore Club.
Wow. Okay. That's good. So you're really involved. That
Yes,
helps
I
with the
can.
homesick thing too. If you get real involved and engaged, it's kind of
Yeah, you got too much to worry about. You can't think about home. I got clubs to do, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. I understand. So how would you say you balance your academic and your social life? Like, did you, sometimes people go to school in the first semester, they're like, yeah, I did a little too much on the social, maybe the academics, I gotta come up a little bit. How would you say you did balancing that?
I say I think I did pretty well. Obviously it's Atlanta, so there's
Yeah.
always something to do. There's always people to hang out with, but it's balancing having your work done and like having fun. I feel like it's a lot harder to have fun when you have like a 3-page paper due at 11:59 and it's 8:03. Like it's not fun. It's not fun anymore. So I'm a very like organized person.
Okay.
So in doing that, I try to schedule out my times to do work. And even just to make it more fun, so it doesn't feel as stiff, I'll bring my friends with me. We'll all do work and then we'll all go out. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Just to balance getting your work done and still having fun while in college.
That's good. Sounds like you already had your priorities straight before you came. So it was just a matter of kind of continuing that. And I love that you kind of figured out a way to make it fun, and also aligning yourself with people that are like-minded, right? Because sometimes it's hard when you're like, well, I got this paper, and your friends are like, let's go out, you can do that later. You have
Yeah,
like-minded people around you.
yeah. Definitely helps. Definitely helps a lot.
Nice. So what would you say are some skills or maybe something you learned about yourself this semester?
I think I learned to be better at saying no.
Mm.
And I learned discernment as well. Because when you were saying having like-minded people around, when you
Mm-hmm.
first come down, like there's just a whole bunch of people everywhere and everybody's texting and they're all following and it's here, come here, do this, hang out, let's be friends, blah, blah, blah. And it's like trying to decipher saying no to certain things, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's a club, because you can't be in all the clubs. There's over 100 registered student organizations. You can't be in every club. You can't go to every party. You can't join every class. Like just knowing when to say no. And then also being able to decipher who would be a positive or negative influence in my life, both
Mm-hmm.
academically and in my casual personal life. So, yeah, I think I
That's
definitely
good.
learned how to separate.
So
That's
I just
good.
want to piggyback off of that real quick because I think that is really helpful. The balance piece about workload and school that you shared earlier, but there's this discernment piece you got in saying no. What was the process that you used internally to go about saying no to certain things? And then what were the things that you looked for in other people to determine what made them like-minded, um, and you thought there were positive influences for you? Because I think so that is very key, in not just in college, just in life in general. But so what were those things that you inside yourself was made you say this is no, and then what made you say yes to certain people and certain things?
So for saying no, I am the type of person to ask everybody their opinion before I decide what I want to do. And when it comes to saying no, and especially like my first semester, I was like, I can't, if I ask everybody their opinion, I'm never going to come to a conclusion. So I thought about it myself and I sit with it. And I also don't answer people's questions immediately. Like, don't, if somebody asks you, oh, do you want to go to lunch? Oh, yeah, sure. Don't like sit back, think about it. Do you have a paper to do? Did you already eat? Are you really that hungry? Do you need to spend money? Like you go through that checklist yourself.
Yep.
And it's not necessarily as simple as do you want to go to lunch all the time, but that's the sort of checklist that I use. And then when it comes to discerning between people, um, it's sort of just like an energy thing. And there were a couple people that I met. I was speaking to them and they would say something that kind of would throw me off or like doesn't seem like the thing that I would do. And it's not that I would continue to be around them and try to change them or look for a reason to excuse what they said. I just simply, okay, you can do that if that's what you want to do. I'm gonna step away from this relationship. And it's not a negative, like, oh no, I don't mess with her. No. It's just
It was more so you recognized who they were and you accepted them for who they were, but you also knew who you were and you stood strong in that. That's what it seems like you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Leah, you're talking about, or the way that you're saying it, it seems like that's something that's going pretty smoothly for you. So I'm wondering, like, with all of that, what has been your biggest challenge?
I don't see it as my biggest challenge, but some of my friends have said it's my challenge. I'm quite blunt and direct when there's something that I don't necessarily agree with. After I've tried to bow out gracefully, I can be a little direct. Everyone doesn't love bluntness. Everyone doesn't love the clean, clear conciseness that I provide. But you know, we're working on that in 2025.
That's good. Sometimes you just got to tell it like a TI is, you know. Sometimes that's just what folks need. They might not like it, but sometimes it's good.
Might not be nice, might not be pretty, but it's the truth.
Nice.
Being in different locations, I know you're from, well, Baltimore, the Baltimore area, is that correct? And then going to Atlanta, which is more southern. How did that, I know you were saying you have relatives in the South, so that maybe or maybe not, but was that an adjustment to sort of deal with the different cultural differences from where you are from and going to where, you know, where you were going to school? Or were there any differences?
It wasn't super drastic because I was going from Baltimore City to Atlanta, which is just another city. So in the urban perspective, it wasn't that different. But culturally, yes, they do speak a little bit slower out there. So I'd be like, oh, okay, just
Like,
waiting for the sentence to come out. And then outside of that, it's just little things. Like we had gone to Waffle House and we looked at the receipt and there was no tax. And I was like, oh, like, is this okay? She's like, oh no, there's no tax if you are eating inside. I was like, oh, okay. Then we went to the grocery store and they tax different things differently. Like medication gets taxed differently compared to fresh fruits, compared to, you know, just all the different things you buy at the grocery store. So that was a little bit of a, you know, shock. I was a little confused there.
Yeah.
And every now and then people will ask me to say things because I'm from Baltimore. They're more surprised at me than I am at them. So yeah.
People always say, oh, up north, y'all have accents. I'm like, no, you guys have the accents.
And it's so weird
have you got
to be called up north. Like,
Right.
It's just home, you know.
You like the grits and the ham? No, I'm originally from the South, so I'm you know, so yeah, people are like, what are you talking about? But anyway, yeah, well, it's good. Glad you didn't have too much of an adjustment.
Yeah.
Is there anything you love about the culture in Atlanta?
Let me think. I do love the cars every now and then. I don't love it when they're driving down because my dorm is right by one of the main streets that's outside of our campus. So every now and then at like 2 or 3 a.m., you'll just hear like a big engine coming down the street, and you're like, okay, like now I don't love that right now. But I love the cars out there. And it's just like a Black excellence thing. I see celebs like once a week on campus.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I love that part.
Oh, that's cool that they're still pretty active at Spelman. I like that.
Yeah, they come, and because it was an election year, so
True.
there's even more people than would normally typically be there.
Gotcha. All right. Does anyone have any more questions? If not, I'm gonna ask my last one, and then we're gonna let you go, Miss Leah. This has been great. Okay. So, what is one thing that you would tell to the upcoming high school graduate, right now? Now that you know you're past that point, you finished your first semester, what's one piece of advice you would give those that are up and coming graduating seniors this year?
I would say be patient, be smart, and be in the moment.
Okay.
I think a lot of seniors, while it is very exciting to go to college, they're very eager and they want to ask everything. And it's like, I can't give you the college experience. You just got to wait till you get there. There's no, like, giving you all these answers to the questions is never going to explain to you what it's like to really be in college. So just wait till you get there. I promise you're going to be there for 4 years. So just be patient. I know those 3-4 months are tight. Be smart, because a lot of people might try to, get one over on you, or, just, especially if you're in the city, just pay attention. Don't be on your phone all the time, and be in the moment, because these aren't going to come back. Your first fall semester is never ever going to come back. So stay in the moment.
Good advice. All right. Well, this has been a great conversation. We are super proud. It sounds like you knocked your first semester out of the park, as we figured you would. So thank you very so much for taking the time to chat with us. As we tell everyone, this is not a one-time thing. We are here to support you and throughout your 4 years in any capacity that we can. So if there's any way that we can be of assistance to you, sounding board, resources, or anything, please. We hope this will be a partnership, moving forward, and definitely keep in touch. Let us know how you're doing.
I will. Thank you again all so much. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
And have a great second semester or quarter, whatever.
Yeah, have a great second semester. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.